Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joe McCall here, wholesaling lease options. My son's driving. Say hi, Luke.
Hey.
He's driving to his cello lessons, and so I wanted to do a quick little video to say hello. I promised you guys I would do more Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives. Should I just start over? This is YouTube, which is way better than Facebook videos. Anyway, I'm doing a YouTube live video. Going to be talking to you about lease options, okay? I'm going to give you some simple steps to do a lease option deal. About 5-6 years ago, I was speaking at an event, a big event, and I was just getting really overwhelmed with listening to all these people selling their courses and stuff. And one guy was trying to impress us with how much material he had in his course. He said, listen, if you get my course, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know on how to find deals. And he threw this big notebook full of DVDs and CDs and all kinds of crazy awesome stuff. And it was good stuff. And then he said, once you find your deals, you're going to have to know how to rehab them and fix them up. So then he included this another huge notebook full of 10 DVDs and a bunch of papers, about 2 inches thick, of materials on how to rehab properties. And then he said, and as a bonus, you're going to need to know how to protect all your assets and do entity structuring and all that. And I got another course that's going to teach you how to protect yourself. And he threw another notebook, bunch of DVDs and CDs and text and papers and stuff like that. And he said, now, to buy all these deals, you're going to need private money. And I got another course that teaches you how to raise all the private money you could ever need. And he did like 4 or 5 of these courses. And if you get it today, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give it to you all. No, it was like, it's normally priced $20,000 million and on my website. But if you get it now in the next few minutes, I'll give it to you for the one-time discounted price of $9.97. Only available with the first 10. Get up, go to the back of the room. Anyway, I was looking at this huge stack of stuff, and I thought, man, this is awesome. But I was completely overwhelmed. You mean I have to go through 50 DVDs and 600 hours of video and read, 3 volumes of stuff to learn how to do a deal? You got to be kidding me. That's like, so crazy overwhelming. And I thought, I'm sitting in the back of the room, and I'm supposed to be speaking and selling my little course on how to do lease options. And I sat there thinking, I wonder if I could write down on one piece of paper how to do a lease option deal from beginning to end. And I did. If you've ever seen my webinar, I actually show you the piece of paper. I did. And so I wrote it all down, all the steps to do a lease option deal on one piece of paper. Sorry for the bouncing around. I keep on forgetting to get my gimbal so the camera will be steady. So I wrote it down and I showed everybody when it was my turn to talk. And I said, you guys have been watching everybody. Isn't it awesome how much stuff they have? And aren't you guys impressed? But I said, how many of you might be a little overwhelmed? And everybody raised their hands. And I said, well, what if I could show you a simple way you could do a lease option deal just on one piece of paper? And everybody started applauding and clapping. And I thought, I think I'm onto something. Because if you can't explain how to do a deal, whether you're doing wholesaling or short sales or rehabbing, you need to back away a little bit, Luke, you're too close. Then it's too complicated, right? It's too much involved, too many steps. You should be able to explain how to do a deal on one piece of paper. So I'm going to give you the steps right now that I wrote down on that piece of paper. Would you be interested in that? If you would be, give me a thumbs up right now. Give me a thumbs up and say something in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. If you'd like the steps, let me see some thumbs up. Okay, I see some. Come on, give me some more. Show me some love. Let me see one more. One more thumbs up. Thank you, David. All right, thank you, Edward. Here we go. Step number 1, you got to do marketing. And the marketing that I like to do is texting Craigslist and Zillow ads. So I look for properties on Craigslist or Zillow that are listed for rent. Back away a little bit, you're still too close. And Craigslist and Zillow for sale by owner and for rent. And we send text messages And we just ask them something real simple. I call it the 1, 2, 3 punch. We send them a text saying, hey, is the house still available? Send them another text if they say yes. Are you the owner? If they respond back yes, we send them another text. You wouldn't consider maybe leasing it for a year or two and then selling it, would you? Sometimes I'll just go, if it's a rental, I just say, hey, saw your rental, you wouldn't have any interest in selling it. Because if they would have an interest in selling it and they have it listed for rent, it'd probably be open to a lease option, right? That's it. Now, if the ad doesn't have a phone number, I'll send them an email. Sometimes, if they're not responding to my text, I can go back and record a slide dial and send a voicemail right to their phone number, okay? So try to hit up these ads. I have a VA that goes in every day and scrapes the new ones. Send them a text, send them an email, send them a slide dial, and just ask them a question. Hey, I'm calling about the house I saw. Make sure your messages are personalized. I saw your house on North Main Street in Craigslist. Looks like a nice home. I just had some questions for you. If you can give me a call, I'd appreciate it. And in your message, you could also say something like, I saw your rental. I'm an investor. You wouldn't have any interest in selling it, would you? You wouldn't be open to maybe leasing it for a year and then selling it? Now, the next step is if they respond back, if they raise their hand, you call them. Pick up the phone, talk to them. Say, hey, I saw your property. Can you tell me a little bit about it? You just ask them questions. This phone call shouldn't be longer than 3 to 5 minutes, okay? I'm just asking them questions. And I pull away. I say, you probably wouldn't be interested in something like that, would you? Sometimes I'll even say, it looks like a nice rental. Why don't you just keep it as a rental? Or if they really want to sell it, why don't you just sell it with a realtor on the MLS? A lot of them will say, nah, I don't want to do that. It's going to cost too much. I don't want to hassle with that. But you're going for no. You don't want to chase them. The harder you chase sellers, the faster they'll run. You want them to come to you. So I'm just asking questions, all right? And I never try to close them on the first phone call anyway. I say, listen, well, let me send you some information. So step 1 is do the marketing. Step 2 is get some information. Just talk to them, ask them some questions. Step 3 is send them an offer. I say, listen, let me put together some information. I'll send you an offer. In my course, I have a credibility kit. And hey, so I don't know what happened, but I'm back. I say, listen, let me get some information. I'll send you an offer. You can look it over. The credibility kit is a letter of intent, and then it explains what a lease option is, and it has pages of frequently asked questions. And then at the end, I try to include like references of my mortgage broker, property management company, realtors, closing company, attorneys, whatever. You just put them in your references, right? Send it to them. And I use REI Simple, so I like to send them a proposal in an email and in the physical mail. All right, then I follow up with them. It's as simple as that. And you want to do a lot of follow-up. So I think it's step 3 or 4, you send them an offer. And Lamar is asking, how do we get it? Great question, Lamar. It's in my course. If you're interested in getting my course, just watch I have a class. I teach this stuff at sloclass.com. SLO for Simple Lease Options, class.com. Go check that out. All right. So the next step is if they say yes, well, if they say no, you follow up with them. And you follow up with them over and over and over and over and over again until they sell the house or they die. That's how long you follow up with them. Or you die. One of those 3 things. Whatever happens first. You die, they die, or they sell the house. That's how long you follow up with them. Then, if they say yes, you're going to send what I call a short offer form. It's a 1-page, I like 1 pages. It's a 1-page contract that just has the lease and the option together on 1 page. There's more paperwork later. So when you find a good tenant buyer, then you prepare a longer lease and a separate option agreement with the seller, and then you assign those agreements to the tenant buyer if you're just doing an assignment, or you stay in the middle as a sandwich lease option. Okay. By the way, when I'm sending my offers, I send a sandwich lease option offer and a lease option assignment offer. I send them both. I try to do wholesale or sandwich lease options because those are more profitable. All right, they say yes, I get it under contract. Now I start marketing the contract, or I start marketing the property. Real simple. You guys are asking some good questions. I'll get in there and ask questions when I'm done here, okay? Keep the questions coming. This is good. So then I will send them a short offer form. If they sign that, then I start marketing the property. So what step is that? 5 maybe? Oh, we got stop and go up here. We're doing good on time.
Yeah.
All right, so then I market the house. There's different ways to market the property or the contract. Number 1 is Craigslist. 2, Zillow, if you can. Number 3, my favorite, are bandit signs. Signs work really, really good. Try to put them out on the weekends. Rent to own, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, phone number. That's it. If you can put a sign in the yard, do that. Sometimes you can't because the seller's still there or they don't want the sign in the yard or whatnot. Then put it on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is really good. I also have in my course how to do Facebook ads. So you can do some Facebook ads for the property. That works really well. You want to make sure you get the property on your website. So you want some pictures, you want some video. The CRM we use called REI Simple has some websites in there. And you can also get Carrot websites, Investor Carrot websites. But you want to get pictures and videos and put them on a website. And I go into my course teaching you how to get a phone number from REI Simple, the CRM. And you can set it up where on all of your ads and in all of your bandit signs, if anybody calls that number, it sends them an automated, it goes to voicemail explaining the property, and it sends them an automated text back right away that explains a little bit about what a rent to own is or asks some questions, but they get added to your buyer's list. They get added to your buyer's list right away. Cool. All right. So if you find a good tenant buyer, you're looking for, I think this is step 6 or 7. You find a tenant buyer, there's a couple criteria you're looking for. Number 1, can they afford the house? Number 2, do they have a realistic chance of getting a mortgage in 1 or 2 years? We only want to put lease option tenant buyers in our properties that have a realistic chance of getting a mortgage in 1 or 2 years. So can they afford the house? They have a realistic chance of getting a mortgage. So we work with a mortgage broker who helps review our applications and helps us with this stuff, right? We do a background check and all of that as well. Then they have to put down 3 to 5%. So on a $200,000 house, they need to put a minimum of $6,000 down. But sometimes, let's say they only have 4, we're trying to get 6. Sometimes we can do a note. We can create a promissory note to collect the difference over the next 1 or 2 years. Then there's some more paperwork involved, right? And I'm going to sign some new paperwork with the seller. I'm either going to assign the paperwork to the tenant buyer, or I'm going to, there's different ways to do it depending on if you're doing a sandwich lease option or a wholesaling lease option. Then tenant buyer moves in, you get paid on a lease option deal. You get cash now, cash flow, and cash later. The tenant buyer is responsible for maintenance and repairs and taking care of the property. And then you deposit money into Hip Pocket National Bank. You want to make sure the tenant buyer goes into credit repair and works with the mortgage broker to get the mortgage as soon as possible. And what else? Keep on building your tenant buyers list. Because what I do is I don't take my ads down. I keep them up to get more tenant buyers to join my buyers list. If it's a wholesaling lease option, you want to try to work with a escrow company so they can collect the option deposit money. And that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not.
Are you just going to stay in the car?
Yeah, I'll stay in the car. All right, so if you want more information, go to sloclass.com, sloclass.com to watch my webinar, get more information about how to do lease option deals. Here's the thing, guys. If you can learn how to do lease option deals, if you can learn how to do a lease option, you're never going to have to worry about money again. You can do all the marketing in the world. You can, if you're just a one-trick pony and all you're doing is regular wholesaling, you're going to go from maybe just getting 1 out of 20 offers accepted. When you learn lease options, you're going to get 3 out of 20 offers accepted. And so you're going to make a lot more money. I think the lease options are one of the easiest, fastest ways to get started in real estate today and make money. So just get out there, make it happen. Cool. So hope that helps. Sorry for the jerky, bouncing around, not being super focused video. I hope that helps. Let's look at some of the questions that you guys typed in here, and I will help answer them. Thank you, Edward, for the nice words, and David and Brutus. Okay, so Forex Sniper is asking, are you getting these long responses from sending emails? I've been getting this similar story from those I've emailed. They all mention that their wife doesn't want to sell and they are on a trip, blah, blah, blah. Not sure what's going on. So sometimes there's spammers out there that put in fake properties. But if they don't want to sell, that's fine. They just want to rent. But I'd still make them an offer, right? I would say, hey, listen, can I send you an offer anyway? You want to get them off of the email and texting as soon as possible, and you want to get them on the phone and talk to them. Is it a good idea to vet families staying in long-term motels as tenant buyers? I don't know. That's a good question, Lamar. Sometimes if somebody is staying in a hotel, I don't know if they're like are going to be good candidates because they may not be in a place where they have a realistic chance of getting a mortgage in 1 or 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Another question. Have you ever worked with a loan officer finding buyers who come to them seeking help with their credit? Yes and no. Sometimes loan officers and brokers are some of the best people to work with because they find people all the time that have challenged credit. And so, yeah, if you can get a mortgage broker that can give you those kinds of leads, those are really, really good. I recommend that. Now, here's the tricky part, though. The loan officers cannot get referrals. So they just hopefully are sending you these leads. You know, they can get business in the future to get those people into mortgages. Another question here, is the down payment from the tenant buyer non-refundable? Yes, good question. The down payment is non-refundable as long as you're doing things ethically and fairly, right? Like if you're a douchebag and you do stupid stuff and they, you know, try to sue you, the judge may force you to give them the option money back if you've been stupid. So in that case, it's not non-refundable. But yeah, usually in the contract, it is not. It's non-refundable. If they don't buy the house, they don't get that money back. Good question. Since you're marking up the price for the tenant buyer, won't it exceed the FHA loan limit? Good question. So we do mark the price up, but we're not marking it up above the FHA loan limits. So you guys should know what the FHA loan limits are, right? If like I think in St. Louis, Missouri, it's been a while since I looked. I think it's like $250,000, somewhere around there. So it's easier for a tenant buyer to get FHA financing because they only need 3.5% down, right? So you want to stay in that sweet spot where FHA is lending money because then it makes it easier for that tenant buyer to get a loan. Now I've done a lot of lease options on more expensive homes. That's not a problem either. Cool. Any other questions, guys? That's it. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. We'll see you. Hopefully this video worked because I know it cut out there.